All right, guys. Hey, everyone. Welcome to what I believe is the 8th week. I really should research this before I go live. Yeah, welcome to whatever show number this is. I just wanted to say hi real quick. John had just finished up one of the top 10 episodes, so he's taking a quick little break, grabbing a drink, coming and hanging out. So I'm going to do a little... what do they call it? Housekeeping for the day, for the month. So I just wanted to do a quick shout out to all my patrons. Thank you so much for my drinking buddies, Jeremiah Morris, Lucas Shashek, who is tonight's drink sponsor. And then Sean, Jenny, and Ferris, and Devlin, you guys are the best. Join in, guys. Follow Patreon, which is right up here. Come join. We've got 2 levels. They're fun. We've had a little bit of a hiccup this month for our golden day, but you guys should check your emails. Trying to line up something before the end of the month if we can for the next few days. If not, we'll do something really, really cool in June. But yeah, hey, it looks like somebody's here. So let's bring him on. Guys, you know him as the Outlaw or as the host of the Top 10 or Outlaw Nation. He does so much, and he is just the best. Guys, it's John Rocha.
Oh, what's going on, everybody? How's it going? Seeing myself on the Facebook. Me and Paul Denuzio, we need to have a heart-to-heart, I think, Rachel Silvestrini. So if anybody from the Action Army is watching, you tell Paul Denuzio I'm coming for him. Someone with so many things to be made fun of shouldn't be making fun of other people. Let me just start out there. But anyway, thank you so much for having me on the show. What an incredible color of hair you've got going on.
Yeah.
What are we calling that? Are we calling that Iron Man yellow? What is that?
I'm referring, in the proper lighting, it literally looks like caramel corn. It does. It's like bright yellow and then like bright brassy orange. Okay. It's a process.
I dig it. Awesome.
Thank you, Eric. Hair looks good. Yeah, we're gonna figure out what the final color is. If I'm gonna leave it blonde or we were having I did a live show on Saturday when I was bleaching it.
Right.
And Alex Mack, I borrowed Alex and Kelsey.
My new co-host. Yes,
your brand new co-host who's doing a fantastic job.
She is.
I am loving the energy between you two.
Yeah, we have great fun. As soon as we did as soon as we were going back forth on Facebook messaging, and I made the suggestion, she just jumped on it. And I was like, "It's brilliant." So, but anyway, back to your bleaching. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So we were bleaching that, and then we were taking people's suggestions as to I had 4 different colors. Whether to leave it blonde, go teal, go bright purple, or do like a mauve. So we're gonna see what we can do with it once it settles. But how you doing? I feel like I haven't seen you in forever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with not having the Schmodown meetups to go to for the matches and stuff like that, we rarely see each other, but it's good to see you on here. And I've been working so hard building up the Outlaw Nation channel and trying to get as many people on board that train as possible. So that's been pretty much consuming me since February. So that's been my life. And of course, being self-isolated over the last couple of months or 3 months with all that's going on, it's kind of crazy. I mean, but you've been busy. I mean, you've been competing in Schmodown matches with other people and getting crap for it because people don't know you live with these people. So you've been busy yourself with a number of things for sure.
Yeah, it's always fun when people are like, "You two need to calm down and remember you live together." And I'm like, what we do online is like the tip of the iceberg for what happens on our couch in the living room. Like,
right.
Like I open my door in the morning. He's like walking in to get coffee, and I'm like, oh, great.
Do you smell him coming? Because he's such an oozy little creature. Do you smell him coming?
I mean, to be fair, we don't judge people for their scent during quarantine.
That's actually
if you don't shower, that's your choice.
Right. I find myself showering later and later in the day, which is really unsettling for me being, because when I was at Collider, I was showering usually at 7 or 7:30 in the morning. But as the coronavirus is increasing, it wasn't so much when I was, doing stuff in January, February, when the coronavirus started and we had these self-isolations over the last month, I found myself showering at like 2 or 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Almost at that point where does it matter if you shower? But then I'm like, no, because I don't want to go to bed with 2 days of stink on my body. And certainly my girlfriend would not appreciate that. So I make myself shower. But there are I push the limits. I push the limits of when I can actually jump in that shower. So yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
How about you?
I put on jeans today for the first time in like 2 months because I had to do laundry.
Right.
Like, I was actually thinking about this today. I'm going to be kind of sad when all of this is done and we can actually like hang out in person, because I really like interviewing you wearing boxer shorts right now. Like, this is really nice. Like, I have no shoes on. I like just put a bra on. Like,
right.
All of these social norms that like used to be normal, like now just kind of aren't. And we've adapted new ones, and it's going to be really interesting to go out and be like, oh wait, I'm going out the door. I need to put shoes on.
Yeah. I don't like sweatpants, so I just like to wear my Adidas track pants. And so my girlfriend Lily, her cousin works for Adidas. So at the beginning of this whole thing, I was like, I'm gonna need 3 new pants. So you can get them 50% off. I want these pants. So all I've done is wear Adidas pants. Basically, I think I wore a pair of jeans once in the last 2 months, 2.5 months, but pretty much it's just been Adidas pants around the house all day. If I'm not, in my underwear, which I usually am in the morning, but then Adidas pants on the rest of the day. That's all I've been doing. So it's been nice. It's been nice.
Yeah, there are some days when I know I'm not going to leave my room because I have a bathroom attached to my bedroom. I have a Jack and Jill bathroom with Alex. Yeah. And so there are days when I'm like, I know I'm not going to leave the sanctity of my room. So I'm just going to put on some booty shorts that I wore like 10 years ago on Warped Tour that should not be worn in public ever. And I'm just going to hang out in these all day. And it's so much fun. Yes, Eric, I completely agree with you. Pants are overrated. I always hate when the weather changes and I have to go back to wearing pants and shoes. Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I used to have a flip-flop tan on my feet year round because of Warped Tour. And it was like a badge of honor. And the day that faded away, I was like, well, that's the end of that chapter of my life. Just kind of fades away. But summer's coming up. I mean, we're in LA. It feels like it's summer already.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where you are, but it's like 90 in Glendale right now.
Well, the valley's always worse, right? So in terms of a cold and hot, which is why I moved out of there way back in 2010. But yeah, I mean, for where we are in Beverly Hills, it's comfortable. It's never too hot, and it's never too cold. It's comfortable. And I sleep with a fan on my body now. My girlfriend she's way colder than I am, so I have to turn the fan so it's only blowing on my body. But like, I like to sleep in as cold as possible. I like to put the room temperature down to 61 degrees in a hotel room. Like, it's just like, I'm that kind of person, because I burn hot from the inside out. So yeah, I like cold weather on the outside. I like 25 to 50 pounds of blankets, not heat, but just the weight of it, and then like 1 foot out because I'm contrarian. Right. Because you got to leave a vent. You got to leave a vent out and like let 1 foot kind of let the body heat out. Yeah. But summer is coming up, and this is the weirdest thing. It's like the only year that I've ever been like not looking forward actively to movies coming out, and it hurts a little because there were so many lined up that were amazing. I know people are like really sad, and I get that, and I do, but it's okay to take a break from something for once in a while. I mean, like we've had. How many years of movies, that we've come out in the summer, we look forward to it, and it's cool, but there's nothing wrong with also like something forcing you to kind of take stock and do a little self-introspection and do a little self-reflection and work on yourself a little bit. And so, that's how I've kind of looked at this thing. And to be honest with you, I've seen so many movies in my life that you're just like, oh, I could take a week off. It's like a month off or whatever. It's like last year, I didn't go to Comic-Con. It was the first time in like 12 years I hadn't gone. I was like, and I was strangely okay with it because I was like, I've done it for so long. It's okay to take a break for a year. But I know what other people are like desperate to go back and go see movies in theaters. And I totally respect that. Absolutely. I'm making the most of what I can. So I don't feel the same way, but I totally understand that other people do. Yeah, I think the whole thing about going to like summer blockbusters and like Comic-Cons and stuff like that, it's not 100% the experience. It's the people that you're like. It's not the thing. The communal thing. Fact that like you get a call at like
11:45 p.m. before tickets go on sale, and it's PJ or Alex being like, "Did you want a ticket? Because I'm buying tickets like right now." And it's
Right.
yeah, throw in a ticket. 25 of us meet up, go to ArcLight, and like hang out for like 17 hours, and like that's what I miss most.
I understand that totally. Yeah. But that's what Zoom's for, isn't that what Zoom is for? That's what I was told Zoom was for. So
yes, that's what we've been doing. I know Jill and Sean got the premium package so that they can have like as many people as they want for as long as they want for the meetings and stuff. So there've been like Saturdays where I think we've capped out one time at like 20 people for like 5 hours, and we're all just like sitting there kind of doing things, and people are coming and going and making dinner and getting drunk and hanging out, and it's just almost like we're across the street again. But everybody's in PJs, so it's even better.
Right on.
But I want to bring up Alex and Lucas real quick, because I do have a Patreon level called Drinking Buddies, and Lucas wanted to do tonight because Alex is now part of Outlaw Nation. So when we all get to leave our houses, part of this bullet bottle is yours.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
So,
I love bullet bourbon.
Who doesn't? It's really good.
Yeah.
And I actually posted about this. I was like, I feel really weird doing this way, because like the way I wanted to do this ideally was like legit having like 2 camping chairs around a bonfire and just like kicking back, have the camera there, and just like bullshit for like however long. And we'll do it sometime. Yeah,
sure. In the future, I'm sure, down the road, once everything gets and we're slowly seem to be moving towards that. Newsom opened it up for retail stuff now, and I hear rumble, like a lot of the outlet malls are open around our area, so that's usually my sign. And we'll see when the restaurants start to slowly open themselves. And he said the sporting facilities can start being open, so we'll see. Which means Christian, I think, woke up this morning and could smell Schmoedown in a studio in the air. And I started studying, like, seriously, he started studying again yesterday, because I'm like, oh, I know at any moment he's going to be like, all right, matches this weekend. Boom, you're taking on Ethan right now. I'm like, holy crap. So I fully, this weekend's going to be all studying for
Christian
sure.
would never do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you want to play the Outlaw in 9 days? Sure.
I'm surprised he hasn't already, set it up.
I mean,
who's the Let's Get Ready to Talk Schmoedown podcast? There's so many of those. Who is that?
That is Ferris and Shug
those guys
and Justin.
Right.
Yeah, they're really great. Honestly, if you get a chance to go on, like I don't
believe in them. I don't like them at all.
You don't I assure you they exist. They're not like Pixies. You don't get to not believe in them and then they die.
No. They love to make age jokes. Meanwhile, Shug has 4 kids. Tell me who's the old one here, please.
Hey, you don't have to be old to have 4 kids.
No, but you look old after 4 kids. Trust me.
Yeah, you do. Which is why I don't have children.
Not a wrinkle. Nope,
suck it. Not at all. It's from 7 years of hiding out in musical theater lobbies and not being out in the sun. Right. Speaking of musical theater, you have a huge affinity for theater. You started off at FSU, right?
Yeah.
Well, in the theater department.
Yeah, I did a lot of theater before. Like, I did theater in high school, musical theater, like Pirates Penzance and all that. Anything Goes. Did all that through high school. And then, like, kind of really didn't have the guts to become an actor. So I tried to do other things at another college, and then eventually joined the military. So when I came out of the military, I was like, I still want to be this thing. And so that's what led me to Florida State. And so, yeah, I did plays there. I didn't do any musicals there, but I did plays there. I'm not really a good singer. Regardless of what Video Drew tries to tell you on those karaoke sings nights, I'm a terrible singer. But I love musical theater. I absolutely love musical theater and musical films, musicals themselves. So, yeah.
So, I mean, I think we've had this discussion about West Side Story. We both absolutely love West Side Story. I am praying that they keep the release date for December. I really want it to come out this year, mainly because I have a ton of friends that I toured nationwide with different musical theater shows. Yeah. But other than West Side Story, what would you say your favorite musicals and or musical movies are?
Well, I think I'm a massive Gene Kelly fan. Pretty much anything Gene Kelly I love. And I go deep on Gene Kelly in terms of musical. It isn't just Singing in the Rain, American in Paris. Is Always Fair Weather is a fantastic musical from his. Take Me Out to the Ball Game with him and Jules Munchin and Frank Sinatra is fantastic stuff. Not the Pirates so much. Anchors Away is good. On the Town is incredible. I like Brigadoon, most of Brigadoon. I'm a big Seven Brides for Seven Brothers fan as well. I love those old school musicals. There's the Fred Astaire ones are fantastic. High Society and what have you with Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra as well. But when it comes to like on stage ones, Sondheim is really where I kind of park my boat. With
Nice.
Company. I'll pull out the Company album right now. I mean, I've got that, and I'm a big fan of Sweeney Todd. That's probably my favorite musical, to be honest with you. Like, I love West Side Story. That is absolutely number one, and I am not looking forward to Spielberg messing it up, because if you come in. And this is a film that won Best Picture with Jerome Robbins. If you come with this and you think you can remake it, you better come with the thunder, and you better match what they did, or at least surpass what they did if you can. And if you don't, then I wasted my time watching that thing. So, I mean, that's the thing. If you want to remake something that classic and that's still revered, you've got your work cut out for you. But Sondheim is where I park it. Sweeney Todd's my favorite. Into the Woods is incredible. Assassins is fun. I watched that Sondheim COVID relief thing they did a couple of weeks ago on YouTube, which if you haven't watched is fantastic. Sunday in the Park with George, is great as well. I don't think that's Sondheim, but I do love that as well. So yeah, pretty much that's where I'm not a Lloyd Webber guy. And I like Jason Robert Brown. Really enjoy Jason Robert Brown. He's kind of having the Sondheim vibe to him as well.
Yeah.
Have I gone too deep? Sorry, guys. Have I gone too deep?
Absolutely. I mean, not for me. You know me. Like, we can sit here and talk musicals until we both die, and then we're still talking.
Right.
No, I will say this about West Side Story. I know that the dancing is going to be phenomenal, because I know half the Jets. I know half the Sharks.
Oh, cool.
They're unbelievable dancers. I actually have somebody, I can't say who, somebody sent me footage of them rehearsing on set.
Wow.
Because we were texting and I was like, I miss you. They're like, hey, they're rehearsing. Give me a second. And then sent me a video and I was like, oh my God, just cried. And then I cried the day that I heard that Rita Moreno was being cast as, that they were bringing her back and being cast as a shopkeeper, because I have a very deep abiding love for Rita. No. She just reminds me of my dad's mother. This very small, very like lively. My dad's mom was Italian, but Italians and Hispanics, not that far apart.
True. I don't disagree with that. As a Latino, I will say that's absolutely correct. Yes.
It's like the link between Latinos and Jewish people. Like, it's just the progression. But I think Company is one of my favorite musicals that I've ever gotten to see in person. But I got to see the gender swap one in London.
Oh, cool.
Actually, when I was there to see you and Nat last year for the top 10. Yeah. Oh, cool. Patti LuPone was, she was playing, she sang, I can never remember the character's name, but she sang The Ladies Who Lunch.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting front row and just sobbing throughout the entire show because it's just so moving. It also happened like 4 months before my 32nd birthday. So that was 35th birthday. That was fun.
Which is it?
I forget. What year was it? What am I doing here?
A lady never tells.
This ain't no lady.
That's the new musical I've written. This ain't no lady.
I mean, yeah.
Patty is the best. I've had a crush on Patty since the 80s. And even now, like honestly, if I get a pass from my girlfriend, I would absolutely take Patti LuPone out on a date. I just have such respect and admiration for her talent and for her abilities as a singer and for her energy, her powerful, don't fuck with me energy. Can we cuss on here? Sorry. Can we cuss on here? Of
course. Okay, this is my show.
I just want to make sure. But, I never know which show I'm not allowed to. It's, so.
Baby, this is mine. You can fucking swear however much you fucking want. I don't care.
But I love her to pieces. I think Patty's just incredible, and I love her energy, and I love watching her. Even when she shows up in regular films or TV shows, I absolutely give it up to her. So maybe someday, like one of the how can I don't want to say that. How can I, one of the people on my bucket list to interview is Patty LuPone. In any way, shape, or possible, I'd like to interview her.
Well, I mean, if we go to New York in January for the live event, they're going to be reopening, and I have a friend in the cast.
Oh, nice.
Just saying.
Okay. Done and done.
I'm going to go see it no matter what, but if we can probably get a hold of her. So you never know. Right. Also, might even be able to get you another John that I have yet to introduce you to. But you have gotten gifts from me from Mr. John Leguizamo.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
What is he in? Is he in something as well? Is he still doing his show?
He lives in New York. We stopped the tour stopped its second leg in December, and then he went home to, I think he lives outside of Brooklyn or something.
Right.
But he and his wife and the kids are self-isolating there, and we check in every now and then. And I'm like, I hope you're doing okay, because like he tweets a ton. He's got such a great Twitter to follow and Instagram. He is incredibly politically forward and just he's just the best. He also has, have you heard of his new comic book called Latinx?
No, I haven't.
So it's basically about this guy from the Lower East Side that lives near a power plant or a chemical plant, and something goes wrong, and like the whole neighborhood gets exposed, and then they all start developing these powers, but they're, Latinas living on the Lower East Side, and so people start thinking that they're criminals, and he ends up working with the FBI, and it's like this really cool, like him and like a few other people, and like there's Latina females, and like it's just unbelievable. And I'm like, I wanna help. How do I help John? But it's like it's all Latin drawn and written and colored, and it's just unbelievable. I'm so excited for it to come out. Yes, Kelsey.
Yeah, she does.
It's the pot at the end of the rainbow of sacrificing your life to touring with other people and living by their life and rules. I mean, which you can understand from being in the military.
Yeah, absolutely. 8 years of that. 8 years of that. Yeah.
Yep. 17 years on tour. Woo! Somebody wants to say hi, Dad. I don't know who that is.
Oh, geez, that's Shug.
But so did you get to travel a lot with the military?
No, I never. I was military intelligence, so I was pretty much based out of Fort Meade in Maryland, and we worked with the NSA during my time there as well. So no, I didn't travel too much. I didn't see a theater of war, but I served during the first Gulf War, and I think by the time I got out, we'd gotten to a couple other skirmishes as well. But for whatever reason, my particular platoon did not get sent, or my company did not get sent to any theater of war while I was in. I was always prepared to go, but we never seemed to be called to go, our particular company, for whatever reason. So it was mostly a lot of training, a lot of working on stuff through military intelligence, and down in those not cubicles, makeshift cubicles, I guess you would say, working on deciphering things and translating things and code and all of that. So yeah, pretty cool. Can't say too much about it, but that's basically what I was. Yeah.
So kind of parallel to Wind Talker.
Nice segue.
Sorry.
No, I wish.
I had to.
They were in theater of war, and they actually, did incredible service for our country, those Navajo code talkers. So no, I wish I had done something as noble as they had done, and sacrificed as strongly as they sacrificed. Being on that film, meeting those guys, it was really humbling. Having served and meeting heroes like that who had no reason, absolutely no reason, to give themselves to our country in that way, and serve our country in that way because of how we've treated Native Americans throughout our history. For them to step up and play such an integral role in that particular area of the war is just incredible. So, and I think one of them recently passed, and I was really sad the whole day, because I just was like, we're losing so many incredible people. As my life keeps going, there's the connections to the past that keep, it's like Inception, where the bridges keep crumbling. And so you're noticing that as you get older, when that how that's happening, you know.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Yeah, I remember in 7th grade, our history teacher gave us all an assignment where we had to go and interview somebody that was at least one generation or more than 2 generations older than us.
Right.
And I still have on cassette tape my grandmother's interview about how she met my grandfather at like a USO dance.
Right.
And how they like it was literally like they saw each other from across the room and they were like, you're mine, fell in love, like got married, had kids. And I was just like I listened to it and it's like hearing a fairy tale from like a time that never existed in your mind. Like it's just this beautiful story. And it's just like, you have to do that. Like, guys, if you have grandparents, go talk to them, go bother them, great aunts and uncles, the oldest person you can find, go interview them. The stories they will tell, especially the ones from their youth. Ask them about their rampages as a youth. It is hilarious. But back to what you were talking about how your intelligence. What I've learned, if I've learned anything from all of my work with live events and, you know, through movies, funny enough, like Hidden Figures is perfect. You never know what you're going to do to help somebody on the front line or whatever. So what you did is not to be diminished as heroic. So thank you.
Oh, that's very kind. No. Yeah.
I mean, anybody who decides to put on that uniform, like even if they don't get taken in, anybody who has that desire in them, it's got to be commended. Like that is, you're willing to put your life on the line for someone else. And it's just, it's a big deal.
I don't talk about it a lot. But I love my country. You know, I love my country and it's just kind of deep inside my heart. And I don't, you know, feel the need to wave a flag and be demonstrative about it. I just know it deep in my heart. And so serving at that time was something that I took very seriously. And when I had the chance to do it, I was very appreciative. I kind of wish now in retrospect I'd stayed in to finish out, to have a pension, because after 20 years you get a pension automatically. But at that time, you know, I was like, I got so much to do, got the world ahead of me, and didn't want to be held down with the restrictions of staying in for another 12 years after I'd done 8. So unfortunately, I walked away from it. But, you know, in retrospect now, I've served longer if I could have. But I enjoyed my time while I was there.
Yeah, my mom's side of the family, my grandfather and all 3 of her brothers were all in the Navy at some point. And her youngest brother was in the Navy, I think, for like 25, 30 years or something like that. And no one from our generation, I'm one of 15 grandchildren on my mom's side. And nobody was going to go in. And so I was like, well, college isn't really probably going to happen. So I may as well go into the military. And took my ASVABs and I got a 94 in 45 minutes.
Wow.
And I thought I cheated. Guys, for y'all that don't know, it's usually, females don't usually score a 75, above a 75 out of 99. And it usually takes about 2 hours to do, but I take tests really, really well. Apparently no Schmodown quizzes, but you know, round 1 is always tough.
Wow. You're undefeated as a team. In this
true.
Season, at least,
we are undefeated this season.
That's what I said. You're as a team,
But yeah, so I ended up getting denied, and they wanted to put me in the nuke field, and I'm like, they're like, we want you as part of the first co-ed submarine, and I was like, you can go fuck yourself. Like I told my uncle, and he's like, no. He's like, no, I'll keep you out of that. Don't do that. I'm like, no, I know. I've heard the horror stories because shit happens.
It does.
But let's go to a lighter note.
Okay.
So summer's coming around. What have been some of your favorite summer memories?
Wow. Be specific. I have so many. Like what do you mean specifically?
Let's go. What was your favorite summer concert you'd ever been to?
Oh, great question. I don't do the festivals. I'm real anal retentive about festivals, so I don't do those. But concerts themselves, here, I'll tell you one. There's an honest truth, and maybe I'll get shit for it. But back in the early 90s, I was a massive fan of Shawn Colvin. She's a singer-songwriter, and I was just an incredible fan of hers. And there in Virginia, there was this place called Wolf Trap. And you can go and watch concerts there in a Wolf Trap, right? It's kind of like the Hollywood Bowl, but a little bit more intimate.
And covered.
And covered. Yes, and covered. And it's funny you say that because I went on a summer night by myself. No one else was a Sean Colvin fan that I knew. I wasn't dating anybody. I couldn't invite my parents because that was just weird at that time. So I went to go see her by myself at a night concert, and it started raining as we were all pulling up. And she came out and did the concert, and it was incredible to be in a room full of people like that to enjoy Sean Colvin at Wolf Trap and playing. I think her second album had just come out, so Steady On, and I think it's called Fat City or Tenderness on the Block, but it was the second album had come out, so we got to hear Steady On, her entire full album, and then that second album. And I just remember being in love with the night. It was just such a great summer night, and I was enjoying her so much, and the rain, which I'm a massive fan of rain. I hate the sun. And I just enjoying the whole experience. And the other favorite concert for the summer concert, I have to say, was a few years ago when I saw Paul McCartney at the Hollywood Bowl. I think it was in July. And I remember at the time I was working at this DVD testing facility. I went to my boss, who was a big musician, and I said to him, listen, I got the chance. There's not much going on tonight. Would you mind if I dipped out and went to go see Paul McCartney at the Hollywood Bowl? I've got a line on a $200 ticket. And at the time, $200 for a ticket was
That's
like
it?
Well, for me, that was like, I would not have money to eat for 2 weeks.
Yes,
but at
$200 for Paul McCartney. Like,
I was like, yeah, I couldn't.
Did you have to bend over and grab your ankles too? Because that's a very real possibility. Like,
no, but like I had negotiated it with this person, and I was like, $200, I'll do it cash. I'll bring cash. And my boss at the time was, I was very lucky. He was like, yeah, go, man. There's not much going on. Whatever, go. And so I went and I got to see, and that was incredible. I'm singing along, like everybody was singing along with the main songs, and everyone was enjoying it. And so for me, that was just a life-changing concert. And I used to have the videos of all of us singing together, all his songs. But I lost them in the transfer from iPhone to MacBook and to MacBook. So I lost them in the transfer, but that's one of those memories that I'll always hold on to because it was such a fantastic concert, and he went for like 3 hours, and it was great, just great. And so, yeah, those are the two I would say.
That was one of the main reasons why I decided to stop touring, because there were so many of those type of moments that I could not participate in.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Not because of financials or schedule. Like
right.
it literally was like, oh, I'm across the country closing our tour of Beauty and the Beast at Wolf Trap, and I can't get to LA.
Right.
Like we literally closed, I think we closed Beauty and the Beast the third season I was on. And because it's a state-run facility, it's on state land. They have their own people that run the merchandise, and so it was a venue event, and we literally had to hand everything over, but be on site just in case anything happened. Right. So, like the very last show was a matinee loadout on a Sunday, and it was like the most beautiful timing. You know when things happen in life where you're like, "Damn, you did good!" Like you're just kind of like, "Ah, that's awesome." Everybody's sitting underneath. There was like a storm warning, so everybody got moved down into the seats at Wolf Trap, so that because like the grass area is not covered, so everybody got underneath cover, and I was sitting off to the side of House Right. And as soon as they start the mob song, where everybody's going after the beast and it's raining on stage, wow. The clouds opened up and just started pouring down at the same exact time. It was the most amazing thing. Like kids were like, "What's going on?" And parents were like, "I don't know." But it was such a cool experience. Yeah. I never thought that you would have been like a festival guy. Cause
it's not my jam.
Well, also like the touring festivals, like Lollapalooza was a tour for a little bit, and then it went festival in Chicago, and then I didn't really see you go on the Warped Tour.
Yeah, it's not my thing. I'll be honest with you. The thing is, I'm a half extrovert and half introvert. So what you see in the Schmodown is me being an extrovert and putting on the character. Like earlier this week on Backstage when Christian asked me to be more of the outlaw on Backstage. So I was like poking at Hannah and poking at Bibbs. He was like, we need to create some drama. So I was like, all right, I play it. And that's the extrovert part of me. But most of the time, I like to be a homebody. pretty much. And so going out to a festival seems to me like it's too overwhelming for me to consider multiple bands for hours on end in a place that's dusty and dirty and like
surrounded by people who don't shower.
And you got to use the porta potties. Fuck that noise. I mean, I can barely do the movies where Alex is, the street food cinema. I can barely do that with the porta potties.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even imagine doing it for festival. And I mean, all my friends go to Burning Man every year. I do not go because you can't shower. And like, you know, I don't know, just the hygiene of it all would drive me insane. So
I can't do Burning Man because there's no VIP area for me to escape to because apparently I'm that delicate now where I don't go to things unless I can get a backstage pass and like just step away from people. Like, like there are so many concerts. I took a night off on tour one night because we were in Dallas and Real Big Fish was playing at the Monkey Garage. So I was like, oh, I'll just call up their manager, Tom, and be like, hey, I'm coming in, put my name on the list because because we're Warped Tour family and that's what you do.
Right.
So I like got in and I was like, I'm going to stand with your sound guy because I don't like people. And they're like, okay. And I was like, great. So I ran from backstage to the sound booth and then right back, like no hanging out in the crowd, no crowd surfing. Like, I'm just like, no, I'm here for the guys. And then I'm gone. And that's it. So unless I can get like a pass or something, I'm never like, hey, you guys go see this concert. And I'm like, hey, come with me. And then we'll do it right. We'll all have toilets that flush. We'll have air conditioning and bottled water.
Yeah. What a novel concept. Yeah, I know.
Right? We're not going to have to sweat our balls off all day. It'll be fine. You can put makeup on or hair gel and it's not going to melt into your eyes.
Right. Exactly. But you gotta make it relaxed, you know.
Yeah, you gotta be able to enjoy it. Also, like as I've been saying for the last apparently 16 years, I'm not in my 20s anymore, or last 6 years. Like no, you just can't do it. I don't have the energy to put up with that. Like, I can't wait to be 70 and be crotchety. Oh,
this is what happens. You get older, you get more particular about your comforts. Who was I was watching some stand-up and someone was like, oh, I think it was Erica Rhodes, who I really love. She's a great stand-up. And I was watching one of her bits because we follow each other on Twitter and we'll occasionally DM and stuff. She's really cool.
Nice.
And I was watching one of her sets and she was talking about the fact that she's like, she knows she's 30 now. She crossed 30 and she's like, it's weird how I want to go to bed earlier and earlier now. And I remember walking back from the bar with my girlfriend and she was saying something like, was that ever fun? And no, it never was. We just fooled ourselves that it was. It's the worst, you know? And so that's the thing is in your 20s, you have more endurance, more patience for that kind of thing. But as you get older, you're just like, you want it less and less and you can't bounce back as quickly as you used to.
It.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it not as fun anymore. Because I remember being 20 and like drinking until 4 a.m. and then stopping at Del Taco and picking up some tacos, going back and then like waking up at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, having the last taco and being like, all right, I'm ready to go. Let's go. You cannot do that after a certain point, especially when you've been abusing your body as hard and as often as I have through my 20s. But there's always going to be that like those songs that you can only listen to during the summertime, right?
Yeah, sure.
Like I think Boys of Summer.
Yeah,
is one of. Yeah, I think that's one of those songs that like as soon as you hear that, you're like, where are my keys? I'm gonna go drive up 101.
Yeah.
With windows down, blasting out. So what are some of your like summer gotta get out of town like? Go drive as fast as you can, windows down, and scream out the lyrics.
You know, all these youngins are gonna hate me, but I'm still a Beach Boys person. Like I put that shit on, and I have a great time with the windows down, listen to the beach. I mean, because I live in LA, I can drive literally out there to the PCH, put on some Beach Boys, and have a great time. But there've been a lot of great summer songs. You know, "Cruel Summer" is fun from Karate Kid. That's a really nice one. What do we just have? Oh, "I Drive It Like You Stole It" from Sing Street. That is a fucking great summer song.
Yeah.
And I am mad that didn't become like the rage like that Happy song did with for Pharrell, or however you say his name. I think Drive It Like You Stole It should have been one of those big summer songs from that time. Yeah.
Well, I will say this. If anybody is listening to this and they're like, ugh, the Beach Boys, get the fuck out of my feed. You have no right to be here unless you're here for education, in which stay, listen, we'll tell you all about it. This is the Church of the Beach Boys, because I am a born and bred California girl. Like,
yeah.
Legit could not, like, was never given the option to pick my music until I was like 11. So it was all Beach Boys and the Mamas and the Papas and the Beatles and the Stones. So like that era of music is my jam. Like I could probably go lyric for lyric with you on Beach Boys at this point.
Good. I'm glad there's so many positive reactions to Beach Boys, because I love the Beach Boys, and I just picked up the double album of the Sounds of Summer or Greatest Hits in them, and it's so good to listen on LP. So I'm just a big fan of them overall, and I it's great music, and you read about the drama behind them and watch that the TV movie they did. So there's a lot behind the Beach Boys that is more than just the fun music. There's like a actual real drama and tension between all those members of the group. So there's a bigger picture here with that. But yes, the Beach Boys are the ones. Or Summertime from Jazzy Jeff from Fresh Prince and Jazzy. I mean, that
absolutely
Summertime's the shit, man. That is one. Drums, please. And you're just like, oh shit, here we go. It's so good, man.
Yeah, I think I'm going to throw in just about any Sublime song.
Oh yeah, sure.
Or 311. Like, honestly, you can listen to the song Amber at any point, but there's just something amazing about that song when you're sitting on the beach.
Yeah.
Or one of my previous guests, for you guys returning, listening or watching, my friend Jason DeVore was on a few weeks ago, and he's the lead singer of a band called Authority Zero, and he has this song called One More Minute that literally starts off with the sound of waves. And it's all about like one more minute until he gets to go to the beach. And it's like the most amazingly chill song. I would play it when I was raging out, when I was working merchandise, and like some guest was just on my last nerve, and I had to be that Disney happy, magic, wonderfulness. And I'm like, I'm just going to go take a 2-minute break and go listen to this song, and I'll be right back, and I'll be happy and smiley and everything will be fine, and there will be no more blood on my hands.
I love that. But and then I'll be chill. And then I'll be chill.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Yeah. What's another? There was another one I was looking at here, because I'm looking at it just to kind of jog my memory of some great summer songs. Here, man. Yeah, Hot Fun in the Summertime, Sly and the Family Stone. Hell yeah.
Or Dancing in the Street.
Yeah, Dancing in the Street's a good one. Absolutely. You don't find a lot of current ones. There aren't a lot of current great ones. Vacation by the Go-Go's. That's a good one.
I mean, anything by the Go-Go's. I think Katy Perry has had like the best luck with summer songs.
Right.
Actually, funny enough, she was discovered. You'll love this. She was discovered because somebody sent her MySpace music link to Kevin Lyman, who created Warped Tour, and decided to put her on a side stage the summer that I Kissed a Girl came out.
Really?
And she's the only artist that has gone, or she's the artist that has gone from side stage to main stage the fastest in Warped Tour history.
Wow.
Because by the end of it, she was headlining, not just like, she wasn't just on the main stage, she was headlining the show.
Yeah.
And given those extra 5 minutes as the last band, because it was such a hit.
Right.
But I think that she's done really well with her song selection. To be able to like, she's great. I felt so bad for her that summer. She was like always gone. She never got to hang out at the barbecues after the show, and like, because she was constantly doing radio interviews,
that's
or, like,
fame
TV interviews, and it's
that's
like
fame. Yeah.
She was writing that star up, and good for her. And now she's having Orlando Bloom's baby. So, girl, you won. Congrats.
Yeah, I'm a big Katy Perry fan. Like, I defend her. I'm not a Taylor Swift person at all. I'm a Katy Perry person. I think Katy Perry is more real than Taylor. So I will defend Katy all day and all night. I don't disrespect anybody who likes Taylor, but for me, Katy Perry will always. I just love her voice. I love her energy. I love how vulnerable she can be sometimes when she's talking about her stuff. You can tell that there's a lot of pain in her eyes and her conversation sometimes in the interviews from her past, having been a religious person and converting over and, becoming famous, not doing religious music and all of that she struggles with. She's incredibly gorgeous as well. And so it's like, the whole package. That's the whole package.
And I mean, the girl can dance, but I will say this: we were actually in Virginia Beach and had a dance off, and I beat her. Not gonna lie.
So you hung out with Katy Perry like before she blew up?
Yeah, she was on the tour that summer, and everybody would hang out. So it was like the one night that we had a dance party, she because usually we'll just have dances and people will play, but she came out, got drunk, had a great time. We were all hanging out, having a good time, and then all of a sudden a dance off came and just started in the middle of everybody and I beat her. It was great.
Yeah. Well, I've never been more jealous of you than I am right now at that experience. I would have loved to have been at a dance party with Katy Perry at that age.
Oh yeah, she was so great. She was so much fun.
Yeah. But she's bounced back. I mean, she's endured a lot. The Russell Brand thing and, all of that for her to bounce back. And, the Taylor Swift battle, that was legitimate beef between those two ladies. Yeah. Her bouncing back from it to kind of carve her own path. And she's doing the American Idol thing, making her money, doing her songs. I liked writing Harley's in Hawaii. I enjoyed that. So I don't like the new one so much, but I did like Harley's in Hawaii. I liked a lot of her most recent stuff. So to me, she's still doing it. And, marrying Orlando Bloom, who all the women fell in love with out of that Lord of the Rings series, and she got him. So, all credit to Katie.
I'm a little more of an Aragon girl, but he's pretty. I like him.
Aragon? Come on.
Yeah. Give me a roughneck any day over the pretty boy.
Yeah, but Aragon will wake up one day and tell you, I have to go on this mission. I don't know if I'll be back. And
that's great. I'd grab my sword and go with him. So yeah, it's fine.
Enough.
It's
Fair
fine.
Enough.
We're that power couple. We got that.
Can you bring up Alex's question? I like this. By the way, hi Alex. She said, which had more drama, Beach Boys or Fleetwood Mac? This is a great question. Now,
or the Mamas and the Papas.
Oh yeah, or the Mamas and the Papas, I think, is closer to the Fleetwood Mac drama than the Beach Boys. The Beach Boys stuff was about them rebelling against the dad of the Wilson brothers, and then Mike Love and Brian Wilson fighting against each other, and Brian Wilson obviously going into a spiral of mental health stuff that he figured out eventually. But with Fleetwood Mac, I mean, Stevie Nicks is sleeping with Lindsey Buckingham.
Everyone.
And then John McVie and Christine McVie are married, and then they sleep around. It's a whole bunch of drama around Fleetwood Mac, and yet they keep coming back together to record, which is crazy. And that live concert they did in the early 2000s is fantastic, and there's so much that they're working out between each other on the stage. That was fun to watch, But Mamas and the Papas counts too. My God.
I mean, I'll also throw in the Eagles. Because
that doc. Have you seen that doc? Yeah,
I have. I seen that doc? I've watched so many. But I did get to see the Eagles play at Stagecoach, which is Coachella for country kids.
Right.
But it was I think it was their first appearance back together after 15 years or something like that.
Right.
And it was amazing to see them, and I was 100 yards back, so they were that big. You could legitimately close your eyes and feel the animosity towards each other that they had towards each other, on stage. Yeah. It was very awkward, but I was you know what, screw it. They're singing Hotel California, and that's all that matters. I'm seeing them live, and this is probably the only time that this will happen.
Yeah, I mean that thing. If you guys haven't watched that 3-hour Eagles documentary, it is worth every second of your time to watch it. If you're an Eagles person, or if you just enjoy drama, you get way more behind the scenes stuff on Don Henley and Glenn Fry separately as artists and how they brought it all together. And throughout the course of them making the documentary, they kicked out one of their original members forever from the Eagles. And you see his last interview with the filmmaker talking about it, and he starts to get emotional, breaks down, and he stops the interview and walks off. And it's just wow, it's crazy. So this documentary is one of a really rare kind of rock and roll documentary for sure. But yeah, the Eagles are great. They have some good summer music as well.
They do. But I feel like their summer music is more the end of a great day at the beach, or grilling out. like the sun setting, and
Or
you're all
getting high
kind of
if you're doing
chilling.
Hotel California. Yeah.
Hey, whatever you put in your mouth is totally fine.
True.
Put a beer, put a scotch, put a whiskey, put a blunt, who cares? But this is why I love Alex, my girl. Yes, Aragon for life.
I respect
He's so
that.
great. I don't even care that he's like 87 years old. Get it. Uh,
All right.
and yes, Oasis. Woof.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
right. Yeah.
Talk about drama queens. Oh my God, those Brits.
Yeah, because the Kinks were the same way. Ray Davies and his brother in the Kinks, they hated each other. But yeah, the Gallagher brothers, if you ever go back and watch the old, like when they did Wonderwall, they had a live concert on MTV. And Liam, is that right? Or the lead? Who's the lead? Noel or Liam? I think it's maybe it's Noel.
Depends on who you ask.
Right. Oh, it's a great point, Rachel. Right before the concert started, or the day of the concert, he claimed that he was too sick to sing. So he left his brother, who is not the front man, the guitarist. He left his brother to sing all the songs live at an MTV concert. So they had to redo the sound check, redo everything. And he had the gall to sit in the balcony and watch. And so when he's about to do Wonderball, he says, "Oh, I got to do the songs to hit." He looks up and he goes, "You son of a bitch." And he says it right to him live on MTV. So somebody maybe can find that on YouTube somewhere. But it is that shows you the animosity they had between each other for sure. That was real, very
that is
real.
some Erykah Badu shit. Because
Oh,
that
listen,
girl, no one will work. Like she is
Badu.
Amazingly talented and incredibly like she's so good.
Yeah.
But she is, from all of my friends who have ever worked with her, they will never
really
ever do that again. Yeah, she shows like she's worse than Axl.
Wow.
Because not only will she show up late, but she will show up and like berate people for the fact that she was late, and like not okay, guys. Never treat your crew like that. They control how you look and how you sound.
Yeah. That's nice. That being said, her live version of Tyrone is one of the best songs ever released by anybody.
Once incredible. She gets on stage, she's amazing. But you got to get her on stage.
Yeah, you got to get on stage.
The hardest part. I love, yes, Eric. Two of my favorite movies about bands were Bohemian Rhapsody, and oddly enough, I really liked The Dirt. I think the music was a big part of why. The Dirt's the movie that they made about Motley Crue.
Oh, right. My friend Elena Evangelino, she played one of the moms of one of the guys on Motley Crue. I can't remember which one, but yes, she was in the movie. I forgot it was called The Dirt. Right. Yeah. Elena played one of the moms. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, anything that has to do with Motley Crue, I just find incredibly fascinating. The fact that they're all like legitimately still breathing is a huge shock. Like I've met Tommy Lee in person, and like the fact that he can like walk a straight line is beyond my ability to understand what life really is.
Yeah.
But Motley Crue also puts on one hell of a show.
I'm sure.
I got to see them play Weenie Roast like a decade ago. So K-Rock is like the big rock, or used to be the big rock station here in LA. Apparently it is dying and on its last gasping breaths.
Yeah. I saw that.
But they used to throw like every big, rock station in a metropolitan area would throw like a kickoff to summer festival, and Weenie Roast was theirs. And it was the summer. It was right before the Red, White, and Crew tour was going out. And they were the surprise guest, and it was their first show, their first like unofficial kickoff to the tour. And so like, Vince rolls out on a Harley, and like there's like 3 girls that like have less clothes on them combined than like my underwear has, like, and like the fireworks are going off, and Mick, and it was unbelievable. It was like the most amazing thing to see for the first time, seeing Motley Crue and I was front row for that, and it was fantastic.
Right on.
That was a really good summer. I've had some really good summers. But along with music, there's also this great nostalgia for like summer movies.
Yeah.
So like, what do you find yourself kind of wanting to watch while the weather gets hotter and the sun stays up longer?
Top Gun. That is my number one summer movie, is Top Gun. I think it came out in the summer, but I remember that movie was when John Rocha stopped being a teenager and started to become a man. So like that movie was it
the volleyball scene?
No, it was not the volleyball scene. Although I'll be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie to you, I've never found that to be a homoerotic scene. I've just seen. To me, that's four dudes in great shape, four young guys in great shape, playing volleyball. So you can read into it what you like. I just see four dudes in fantastic shape playing volleyball, for God's sake. So, but no, it was of course the relationship with him and. Oof, yeah, I'm not Schmoedown ready right now at all.
Right, it's fine. It's fine, guys. No one's judging here. It's okay.
Kelly McGillis, there it is. All right,
yeah.
Kelly McGillis. It was really great to see that. And that's the movie that turned me into a massive Tom Cruise fan. So that's when I think about summer movies, that's one that stands out. Of course, all the Will Smith, Independence Day, and what have you. And so yeah, those stand out as well for me. But yeah, that's the number one movie I think about when I think about a summer movie.
Yeah, the local amusement park where I grew up was called Paramount's Great America, and so they had built like every year was one of those things where like every year they would like tear down an old ride that like wasn't an attraction anymore and like build a really good like new one.
Yeah,
that people like with the new technology and stuff, and it was one of the ones where you'd sit and your feet would dangle, you'd go really fast, and it was the Top Gun ride. And the entire time when you're waiting in line, all you hear is the soundtrack. So you're just spending the entire time in line, like, yeah, just like getting pumped up and like everybody's singing Danger Zone, like literally everyone. When it opened, there was a 4-hour line and they installed speakers throughout the entire place where they were having the queue. And people were like screaming the lyrics all throughout the park. It was the best. So like whenever I think of Top Gun, I'm like, no, that was every summer for me. Yeah, like 100%.
Danger Zone.
Danger Zone. Yeah. I think that one and like Field of Dreams, like any baseball movie, A League of Their Own comes to mind.
Yeah, that's a great choice as well.
They're just really good ones. And funny enough, I think it has snuck its way into one of my favorite summer movies because like it takes place, like it came out in like September, like late September, the first one did. Yeah. So it's not really a summer movie. Like it didn't come out in the summer, but like the kids are on summer break and like that's when all the, the shit goes down with Pennywise. And for some reason, lately I've been like, I really want to watch those two movies right now. Like I really want to double feature that. Like that and then like Die Hard for some reason. I don't know what it is about summer movies. Maybe I've just been conditioned over the years, but like anything that has explosions and like guys running around after a bad guy, I'm like, let's do this.
Yeah. Weekend at Bernie's is another one. Weekend at Bernie's, which people don't talk about enough. That is in the top 10 80s comedies for me. I love that movie. Screw the sequel. That first movie is funny. It's sweet. It's inventive. It's not just a simple comedy about a dead guy. There's more going on here, obviously, because like they discover the money laundering and embezzling that Bernie is doing, and you get Jonathan Silverman, right when people still thought he could be something as a lead. You get Andrew McCarthy right before he kind of like gets forgotten as a guy you could put in movies. So it's like right at that tail end of their run in the 80s. You get them in there, and McCarthy's great because I remember he's the jerk in Pretty in Pink.
Yeah.
A little bit, but then you see him in something like Weekend at Bernie's when he's totally like the doofus, and he's so good at it, and then Silverman is so great as the put upon. And who is it? I forget the actress's name who plays, I think it's Catherine Mary Stewart, I think, who plays the girl they're all going after, but great stuff all around. Very, very funny stuff. That's a summer movie for sure in my mind,
I just love doing the Bernie at like weddings. And you just walk around. And people who don't know are like, are you okay? And you're like, I'm fine. Obviously. Like, you have no cinematic training.
You should bring in, let's get ready to talk real quick. He said, this is why he's my dad. Top Gun is the best movie ever. No. I'm not your dad. I'm your daddy, son. I'm your daddy.
There's that's sexual connotation.
Yeah.
Talk about grabbing the ankles.
I'm your daddy, son. Ooh.
We do not kink shame here, so if that's your flavor,
let's go play volleyball.
No, I'm just joking. The American Pie movies are great summer movies. Yes, I especially love the second one.
Great,
because like the first one's more about like the lead up. It's like spring into summer because they're all trying to like plan to like lose their virginity at prom, and That's still like during the school year. Summer American Pie 2 is when they're all at the beach house.
Yes, that's
remember,
right.
or the shore house.
Shore house.
And and then Jennifer Coolidge. Oh my God, I love her so much.
Yes.
As Stifler's mom. She's just one of my favorite actresses of all time. Like anytime I see that she's in a movie, I'm like, well, this is instantly in my favorites. Like, of course, I have to love this. Her performance in Best in Show is still just like one of the most amazing performances.
Her deadpan delivery, just without knowing how idiotic she sounds, genius. Just genius.
But deadpan knowing how idiotic she sounds.
Well,
and
sure.
then having to play that like, how? I don't understand.
Jaws is another one, right? You have to throw Jaws in the mix. That's a summer movie.
I don't like Jaws. Not that I don't love Jaws. I love Jaws. Jaws is a great movie. I don't like Jaws because I grew up going to Santa Cruz almost every other day in the summer growing up.
Right.
So I lived in the water.
Wow.
Where great whites actually were, because they would be in San Francisco and then come down to Santa Cruz, and that is a very dangerous place. Like Santa Cruz is dangerous. They have like 7-foot otters that, while cute, are very predatory and very vicious, and you do not pet their bellies. So Jaws was a very my parents kept me from watching that as a child, and I'm very glad they did. There's a lot of movies that they kept me from watching that I'm like, why? And that one I'm like, no, thank you, because I never would have left the beach. Yes, The Sandlot is so good.
Yeah, Sandlot summer movie, definitely.
Oh,
what is that, Saul? Saul, what are you doing in here? Saul, get out of here.
Hey. That's
He
my
just said
boy.
he's not here. Get out of here, Saul.
I love you. They're like, Saul. Everybody loves Saul.
Saul, go get aren't you prepping for an IG match? Oh well, I thought.
Yeah, he is. He's gonna take down my roommate. It's gonna be fun to watch. It's gonna be real awkward in the house after that happens.
Your roommate is loving that attention.
Yeah, I know. He's such an attention whore. You think he's a girl?
What else we got? Oh, Caddyshack, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's a summer movie.
No, because they're still in school.
You're right.
That's like a March movie for me. Okay. When like you reach that point of like the school year where you're like, I have to get out of here.
Right. What about Point Break? Point
Break. Oh, yeah, I would count that for sure. There was a movie made. You know, Endless Summer.
Of course, yeah.
They made a different movie with it was called Endless Bummer, and it has Matthew Lillard. And it's about this, and oh my God, what's his name? He was in Into the Wild, the lead.
Oh,
shaggy brown hair.
Yes.
I cannot picture his face. Can't picture his name. But he played the lead in it, and his board gets stolen, and like his surfboard gets stolen. And he lives in the valley, and it's this like harrowing, like very 80s style, like I have to find my board kind of thing. And Matthew Lillard plays like the old like surf dog who like lives on the beach with his like hippie wife, and like he makes surfboards. It is incredibly endearing.
Yeah.
Like really, really sweet. Yes, Emil Hirsch. Thank you.
Emil Hirsch, yes.
Thank you guys.
He was
Look
in
at that.
Into the Wild and Milk. He was in Milk as well.
Yes.
Sean
that
Penn,
was a really good movie.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Do the Right Thing. That's another summer movie. Do the Right Thing. I remember that. I wore that. I wore the fuck out of that cassette. Yeah.
Oh, cassette. The VHS?
Cassette. No, the cassette you put in the player. Right. And then eventually the CD. But yeah, that's Eric Lane. Good shout out on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone said, he also said the way back.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
I'll have to rewatch that. No, I have to watch that. I haven't seen that yet. Yeah, there's so many good summer movies. Like, I think the summer is like a perfect time just to like kick back with your friends and like just super chill back and watch some really good movies, especially this year, because there aren't a lot of movies coming out that like you can go back and see all of those movies that you've always wanted to, but haven't really had the chance to.
Yeah.
And I like that summer movies tend to be like less than 2 hours.
Unless they're the Avengers, then it's
but then you're also sitting there with like a box of tissues ready to cry because they're so emotionally intense.
Yeah, I don't know if I consider those summer. It's interesting. I don't know. This is going to cause drama, I guess. I don't know if I consider them summer movies. Yeah, I know. They come out in the summer, but I don't like when I think of Avengers, I don't think of them as a particular season. Do you know what I'm saying? Like to me, it's the whole year.
I totally agree with you, but only because they're part of a bigger whole.
Right. Yeah.
So
they connect to a bigger picture. Yeah.
It's not like I guess like if they had stopped with Iron Man.
Yeah.
Iron Man would have been a summer movie.
Sure. Great point.
But they kept going. And they kept releasing the movies throughout the year. So in my mind, I agree with you. They're not summer movies. They are by definition summer blockbusters. But in my heart, like when I think summer movies, I'm not like Avengers. Like it doesn't happen because
exactly.
Right. Oh yeah, Independence Day. Like honestly, if you don't watch Independence Day, or I know your feelings about this.
Wait a minute. Yes.
I know your feelings about this.
Yes.
I love Armageddon. It is one of my favorite movies I've ever seen in theaters. I actually got to screen it when my sister was working at a movie theater because I was too young to work there yet. But that is one of my favorite movies. Like honestly, Independence Day and Armageddon, one of my favorite double features.
Yeah. Armageddon. Oh man. I saw it. I remember distinctly going in the theater and seeing that movie. I went with my best friend Maurice, and still my best friend. And we walked out, and he absolutely hated it, and I loved it to pieces. I said, "This is the greatest," and I've said this every day since. It's the greatest American movie made in the last 40 years. It's a brilliant film.
Who hurt him?
It's no, he just wasn't for him. And there's a lot of people who don't like that movie, so I have to respect that. But to me, that movie is just everything. Why isn't it in 4K? For God's sake.
It's so much fun. Yeah. The stakes are high. The world's gonna fucking explode. Like we're all gonna die.
Exactly.
And then you've got Rockhound. Just wanted to feel the power between my legs, boys. Like, how do you not love that movie? It's so good.
Get off the nuclear weapon. I got to interview Fichtner at Collider before I left for one of the deep cuts I did there, and I asked him about Armageddon. He's overjoyed whenever he gets asked about it, and I'm always like, you're always weird about asking people. You wonder if they like, but he knows talked about it so freely. He had a really great time on the set, so he loves it. And man, that movie is just, I don't know what can I tell you? It's just perfect, Michael Bay. It's perfect, Michael Bay.
I think it's the best Michael Bay, honestly. Now I got Rocha thinking.
No, maybe. Bad Boys. I still love Bad Boys, and 13 Hours is damn good.
Yes.
And the first Transformers movie is good.
But from
Pearl Harbor sucks. But yeah.
But from beginning, well, I hate Pearl Harbor for a very different reason.
Okay.
Pearl Harbor came out the weekend that I was trying to sign up for the Navy. I didn't get prepped properly by my recruiter, and he didn't tell me not to say that there was anything wrong with my body because whatever. Like I played softball for 10 years. Like my joints hurt. I was a cheerleader all through high school. Like I dislocated my shoulders. So I got denied entry. And so I had to write letters to, I think like 50 people, like individual handwritten letters to like 50 different people throughout the military and throughout like into the White House. I had to write the president, and like, it was ridiculous. Right. While I'm waiting for this, Pearl Harbor comes out. My dad, while I love him so much, was a very passive aggressive bastard and took me to see Pearl Harbor, sat next to me, and during the explosions leans over and goes, "Those are all in the Navy." And I like burst into tears and like ran out of the theater. Like,
wow, that's terrible.
I know, but he loved me. He was such a dude. Like he was such a man's man that had 3 daughters. Like the man had karma coming out of the wazoo for him.
I like that.
You know, So I yes, that movie's trash, but I hate it for a completely different level.
Oh, I totally respect that. Absolutely, from what you just told me.
But no, like Armageddon from beginning to end is just enjoyable and so much fun. And like, you just, I can't.
I think you might be right. You and Alex said the same thing. I think you might be right. I think Armageddon is the greatest Michael Bay movie so far. I think you might be right. I mean, you could argue 13 Hours. That's certainly a deeper, more complex film, and it really does a great job of giving his point of view on the Benghazi situation. And and Krasinski's incredible in the film.
Oh, so good.
Pain and Gain is a nice, funny, subtle film. I hate The Island.
I can't watch Pain and Gain anymore. It's on TBS fucking
is it
all
really?
the time.
Okay.
I cannot stand it anymore.
I can't. I'm not a Rock guy. I mean, I know The Rock is a fun film to watch, but it's not really my most enjoyable Michael Bay film. So
I mean, it's
Bad Boys or Armageddon. That's the competition.
For me, it's Armageddon, and The Rock is right underneath it.
Oh, really? Okay.
I love The Rock. Like, there's so many great quotes. Like, I grew up quoting movies the instant we left the movie theater with my family. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, I still like I was a mess at prom because I had to leave the room because I was like, prom was like losers. These always complain about their best. And I'm like, I can't do it. A friend of mine is the prom queen. I'm like, I gotta leave the room before I say it out loud.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love that movie. I love teaming up The Rock with Con Air.
Oh, yeah.
It's the perfect Nick Cage double feature. I love 13 Hours, but I think that 13 Hours is so heavy that it's like heavy. You have to be in a very specific like mindset and emotional state to sit down and purposefully watch that movie. Whereas you could be flipping channels and find Armageddon and be like, all right, done. This is what I'm doing for the rest of the afternoon.
There's 3 movies I stop. 4, I guess. I stop every time I'm flipping channels. I catch them. Armageddon is number 1. Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan, Major League, and Top Gun. Whenever I'm flipping channels and I happen to catch any of those 4 on, I will stay for half. I've been late to things because I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to watch it because I'm in the mood for it. It's like comfort food. And so like whenever they're on and I'm flipping channels, I sometimes will stop what I'm doing and just watch. You know, I love those movies.
Do you find that there's a movie that like, because like I have so many movies, like both physically and digitally, like because I traveled so much that I have a 4 terabyte hard drive just for movies.
Wow.
Yeah. It got to be a really serious addiction while I was on the road. We would stop at a lot of Walmarts and I would go through those $5 bins like it was my job. But like there are just some of those movies that I find like that while I'm flipping channels that I'm like, okay, so I'm just gonna put this on because I can't stand the TV cut of it.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like which ones do you think are like the worst TV cuts?
Scarface. I mean, like, what's the point? Like, really, what is the fucking point?
Scarface on TV.
Oh yeah, I mean that used to be the big joke, right? Because I mean they'd have to bleep out all those F words. And I think it has one of the highest percentage of F words in a movie ever. Oh, but right. Watching it on TBS or TNT, it's like filth and farkin and frickin', and you're just like, none of this is working at all. You're making him seem like a way less badass than he actually is. So yeah, certainly Scarface is one of the tough ones to watch. And I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna watch this, I'm just gonna put it on. So
yeah. I think I agree with PC with Goodfellas.
Right.
I can't watch Goodfellas. They cut out so much, and like not just the swearing, but like actual chunks of the movie that I'm like, you completely skipped 3 scenes. Like screw you. I'm just gonna watch like the 3.5 hour ultimate cut version. It's fine. Right. That and my favorite movie, Out Cold. You can't watch that on Comedy Central. It is. So you love Casablanca?
No, I hate Casablanca.
What?
Yeah. I'm not a fan of Casablanca at all.
It's so funny.
Wait, Casablanca?
Yeah. Rick has some sassy ass dry lines.
Are you talking about the Humphrey Bogart film?
Yep.
You think that's a comedy?
No. I don't think it's a comedy. Okay. I think he is funny in it.
Oh, he's a sniper for sure. Absolutely.
Oh, he's so good. I went to like the 75th anniversary re-release in theaters or whatever anniversary it was. And like I'm the only person sitting there laughing. And my friends were like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, are you kidding? That guy is super salty and sassy and funny. Like he's perfect.
And you know why?
Why?
because she left his ass without telling him what the hell was up. And then she comes back to Casablanca and she's like, why aren't you over it yet? What? Girl, we fell in love. We had a relationship. We were putting it together.
I'm not a fan of those traditional female leads that are supposed to be like female empowerment. Like I literally finally hate watched my way through the entire film of Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind. I don't like that film at all. Steve and I have made a pact. We're not going to do that on Cinephile. So yeah.
Oh no. I mean, if you do, I will come in and hate watch it with you.
We're never doing it. We're never doing it. Both of us hate it.
So awful. Guys, I mean, I don't care how monumental it was for the time. I don't care how great it was that Mammy won that Oscar. Like, I don't care. The movie is trash. And all I want to do the entire time is just punch her in the throat so she can't talk anymore.
She's white privilege. You watch that movie now through the lens of 2020. She is full on white privilege.
Not just white privilege, but stupid female.
Right.
Like, like she's the reason I'm like, I can't identify as female right now because I don't want to be in the same category as you. Like, I can't deal with it. Yeah. Well, PC, your sister is fucking wrong.
That's mind blowing to me. Wow, how can you prefer that?
That's really, really, really sad.
That is what happened, PC. They were together. Then her husband all of a sudden came back from the dead. Then she leaves Rick with just a note and then takes off and then doesn't communicate with him again until she shows up in Casablanca with her now all of a sudden alive husband years later and asks for Rick's help. And when they have that confrontation in the upstairs room in Rick's office at night, and she says to him essentially, why are you still mad at me? Why haven't you gotten over it? And it's like, what? You got to use me up, spit me out, then move on to your husband again, and then just kind of kept going. What about me? So I hate that movie for that reason. But that being said, it's certainly a classic and deserves its status as a classic. It just isn't my cup of tea. Yeah.
Okay.
Spoilers. Shit.
No. Shit. There are no such thing as spoilers
for an 80-year-old film. Sorry, pal.
No. No, but Out Cold is a version of it's a very, very loosely based movie based on Casablanca, but it takes place in Alaska at a small ski town. Okay. It is so funny. It's Ash Crossan, who you know.
Yeah.
Ash. It is Ash and mine's favorite movie, and we are like before this, we were pushing for the Alamo Drafthouse to do a rowdy viewing of it, and she would host it, and I was like guaranteed a seat in it. Like whenever we see each other, or like something gets brought up on Twitter, both of us are like instantly tagged in it, and we'll just go through a meme war. But it's not a war; it's just a love off because we love this movie so much. It's Zach Galifianakis' first movie.
Oh, okay.
And he plays like the doofus, and like it's so much fun. I'll send you a copy. It's my favorite movie.
Sounds good.
So stupid and so much fun. Lee Majors is in it.
Huh. I think Nost has talked about this one. I think Nost likes this film.
It's very
a
much
ski resort, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a small ski town in Alaska.
Yeah. He's mentioned this one a few times. He loves that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so much fun. All right, guys.
Yeah, that's it. Bring up Saul. She wants him to act above his pain. Who is she to tell him to act above his pain? That's real easy to say to somebody when you're the one that caused their pain and you're not in pain. Telling someone else to get over their pain for your benefit is an asshole move. She pulls an asshole move in that bar, Saul. Please. And I got no issues, PC. She's the one with the issues. All right.
For those of you that, yes. She completely, yes. Okay, that's fine. Yes, Out Cold is amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna look at this, guys. If you have any Streamlabs questions, put them in. The address is right over Rocha's head somewhere. There we go.
I gotta get out of here. I got 9 minutes. I gotta roll in 9 minutes.
Okay, so there's a few Streamlabs that have come in. So Suge Knight says, here's to show my favorite person love. No, not you, Rocha. The Switchblade. Dad, I mean, Rocha, what's your favorite kind of music? Also, favorite guilty pleasure song?
I don't know that I have a guilty pleasure. I mean,
You know you love Photograph by
That's not a guilty pleasure. That's a great
by
song.
Nickelback.
Oh, Nickelback. No, I thought you meant Def Leppard. That's a great song.
Oh.
Photograph. Music,
We
favorite
don't
music
talk-
to listen to is tough because I listen to so many. It depends on the day. It depends on the mood. To be honest with you, I mean, I'm into some hardcore rap. I'm into obviously, I'm into musical theater. I'm into Western. Country music. I'm into R&B stuff. I'm into pop. You know.
All right. What's the song that you listen to get yourself out of a really deep funk? That can always just kind of whether or not it gets you smiling, it gets you kind of like just a little bit out of it.
I'll tell you the song that always every time it comes on, I'm like immediately in the fucking mood of the song is Tom Sawyer. Rush's Tom Sawyer. Shit, that song every single time. As soon as it starts. And Jukebox Hero is another one. Foreigner's Jukebox Hero.
Oh yeah.
That's fucking kids. They used to make great music. And that was music.
I mean, if you like Rush, listen to Coheed and Cambria.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Amazing group
as well.
Shug also donated and said, just wanted to say I love you both and thank you for making the Schmodown community great and being great to your fans. Would you guys like to play each other again in singles or teams? Fuck yeah, I want round 2.
Yeah, let's get clear. Rachel still thinks I'm going to show up and play her like I played in that. And when I was still figuring out if I even wanted to still be in the Schmodown.
Oh,
now
I'm still the same player that was coming off of a terrible, terrible loss with my partner.
What was left of Rachel would crawl home if we were to play now, to be honest with you. But no, it would be a great match. It'd be a fun match, and we'll see who would win. I would just bank on round 1. I would just bank on that round 1 and then figure it out from there.
I mean, I would love to face you, Bibbs, and Andreyko in a musical match.
Oh, a movie musical match would be fun. An exhibition match.
I'm
down with that.
I've been telling Christian that we need to have musical March. I think that it would be amazing, mainly because there was a question asked during one of the matches that I knew instantly, and then out of the corner of my eye, I saw Bibbs and Andreyko like hesitating over their questions and like not understanding. And it was, you'll probably get this because you mentioned it earlier. In what movie did Gene Kelly dance with Jerry the Mouse?
Yeah, Anchors Away.
Yes. And I knew that instantly.
Yeah.
And they were both like, I don't know. And I'm like, that's adorable. Right. And I'm not even slated, but cool.
Well, yeah, I spun musicals against Andreyko when we played last year. And I mean, Rachel, the temptation was so strong to beat a gay man in the Schmodown in a musicals category would have added an extra like little mini chapter to my legacy. And to have answered them all right in front of Andreyko, I think he would have appreciated that as well. And we would have had a good laugh over it. But I didn't want to take the chance.
It would have been so good. It would have been just a perfect little, like that last nail in the coffin of being a hero.
I was tempted.
Oh, it would have been so great.
The stakes were too high.
Michael K sent in a thing and said, I have a Sophie's choice for you guys. Oh, God damn it.
Okay.
You can only keep one album, the Beatles' Rubber Soul or the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds. Oh, that's not a choice.
Rubber Soul's my answer.
Pet Sounds. I have it on vinyl. Like I listen to it once a week. Yeah. I'm a California girl. You can't pick against the Beach Boys or you get kicked out.
I respect that. For me, I just love the Beatles too much. I can't. Nothing competes for me. So yeah.
And then PC sent in one and said, Outlaw and Switchblade. This is what I can talk tonight. Outlaw and Switchblade. Hello. So your friend is visiting LA for the first time and you only have 24 hours to spend with them. What are your recommendations for them?
Stay at home and wear your mask. Do you mean
in the magical world that still used to exist?
Well, that's such a wide thing because you're like, well, what does your friend like to do? How is your friend built? Right? If they're an introvert, then you got to take them to a museum or take them to the Getty, so they can enjoy stuff there. If they're an extrovert, you want to take them to Pink's and you want to go to Rodeo Drive or you want to take them to the Promenade Santa Monica or the beach there to walk out by the beach on the pier. So it all depends on how your friend is built as a human being because there's so much to do in LA that would satisfy anybody.
Absolutely. I do think that one stop that is absolutely required that everybody go see at some point in LA is the Last Bookshop, the Last Bookstore, which is like extrovert or introvert. It is one of the coolest places you can ever go. It is an actual bookstore, but it feels like you're walking into a bookstore in like the Wizarding World.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Like it's not, there's nothing overtly like cheesy or ridiculous. They have all of the book sections that you normally have, but then you realize that you're walking through a tunnel made out of books.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just this really cool experience. It's 2 stories. It's so much. You can find almost any book. There's a comic book section there. Like it's phenomenal. And you can walk around downtown and like pick up a slice. And it's like our mini part of New York, I think. like that whole like environment, like there's like 4 square blocks around there that just very much remind me of New York a little bit, but like with sunshine.
Oh, I can get that.
And no
I get
humidity.
behind that. Yeah.
I think, and also depending on what night you're there, because if we're going back a few years, if it's a Monday night, I'm taking you to see Steel Panther at the Key Club when it was still open, because there is nothing like a Steel Panther show. If you want to be there for the music, you can be there for the music. If you want to meet rock stars and actors and actresses, you can meet them there. Half the guest list is them. It is such an amazing show, and I actually desperately, desperately miss that place. Let's see if there's any more. Guys, if you have any more questions, get them in right now before I end with my favorite question of all time. Okay, guys, it looks like there's nothing coming in. So, John.
Yes.
My favorite movie of all time is Almost Famous.
Okay.
And I like to end the show with the very last thing that is asked in the movie by William Miller. Do you have to be happy to write a love song? Do you have to be depressed to write a sad song? What is it you love about music?
Oh, wow. And then you want my answer.
Yep.
I think the greatest thing about music is the ability to transport you from wherever emotional place you're at into another emotional place, and affect your mood so powerfully. And it's different than a movie, because you are surrendering all your senses to the song, and you can close your eyes and disappear into the world of the song. And it can move you. It can make you start to move around, or it can move you inside, and it can even make you cry. So I love the power of music to influence your emotions, and maybe elevate you and motivate you and pick you up right in that moment. Whereas a movie takes 2 hours to do it, a song can sometimes only take 3 or even 2 minutes to do it. And that's what I find to be incredible about music. And if you're any sense of like a statistician or some kind of, prodigy, you see the mathematical brilliance of music as well, So I think all of it around is just incredibly powerful medium in our world, for so many things. So yeah, that's what I love about music.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
This was so much fun. I'm so glad we got to have this conversation.
Me too.
I miss this. Let's hang out more.
I'm down.
I mean, yeah, we're both busy as crazy balls. So go ahead and tell the kids where to find you and what's coming out and how to, support you.
Yeah. Well, you see down below there at the Rocha Says on my Twitter and Instagram. That's where I live and exist. So come and follow me there on both those social media platforms, but also the Outlaw Nation YouTube channel there. It's youtube.com/John Rocha Says. You can go get involved there. Got great shows like Mornings with the Outlaw, which I now have Alex Shawshak on as my co-host. I got Game Time with Winston and Jay Washington. Let me tell you something. You don't even need to like sports to watch that show. We go crazy on that show, off the rails. Our slogan is this ain't Sports Center. That's our slogan for our sports show. Also doing, of course, the Outlaw Nation show. Just had Kate Mulligan on. We had a really great time with Kate Mulligan for about 2.5 hours. She's fantastic. And Robert Meyer Burnett last week as well. And then we also have Geek Buddies on there with me, Michael Vogel, and Shannon McClung. You got to listen to the recent episode of Geek Buddies where we compare streaming services to first dates. Which You know, what is Hulu as a first date? What is Amazon Prime as a first date? So I'm clipping that out and putting up as a sample for people to enjoy. But go and watch that as well, or listen to that as well. And then, of course, the pro wrestling show Strong Style, that's on there. We're gonna do a live show tomorrow. Me and Aaron Turner talking about all the world news from the world of professional wrestling as well. So I'm always busy, always working on things. On Twitch, I am The Outlaw Nation, all one word, lowercase, on there as well. So go and follow me there as well. All right, that's everything. That's plug. And the top 10 cinephiles. That's it. All right, good, done.
And then.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Yeah, if you want somebody to come on and talk AEW, I mean,
all right.
I'm kind of addicted and campaigning for a job with them.
I just helped Tyson rip off a shirt correctly, and I think we'll be fine.
I know. I watched that. That was a little bit painful. I was like, who didn't go in there?
Hogan was like,
I know, just. But head injuries, it happens.
Yeah.
You can find me this Saturday on the PJ Campbell Network. We're playing Cards Against Humanity. It's going to be awful. It's going to be terrible. If you are easily or even slightly offended by anything, please don't turn in. Just leave your judgments at the door, because it's going to get bloody and disgusting and awful. Next week, I am so excited to announce this. I have Jen Sturger coming on.
Nice.
I am so excited. I love her so much. She is an amazing human being, and I'm so excited I get to interview her, and we get to talk about wrestling and her show with her husband and everything Schmodown, and it's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited. But again, thank you so much, John. This was a blast. I can't wait to see you again. And
it's my honor, Rachel. Thank you so much.
All my love. Guys, you are the best. We'll see you next week. Love ya. And now the awkward dance.